To our brothers and sisters in the American Southeast, dealing with the effects of Hurricanes Helene and Hurricane Milton, and to those in the Bighorn Mountains of Wyoming, we are here for you. We are praying for you. Help is on the way. We are also praying for our friends in Mexico who are dealing with the effects of Hurricane John in the Acapulco area. The Scene Projects are brought to you by these fine sponsors. List with Linda B. Cufflinks.com. J.H. & Sons Menswear. Kathmandu Campground and RV Park in Sturgis, South Dakota. The Den. Sioux Falls' newest live music venue at 909 Northwest Avenue in Sioux Falls. Sunny Radio and SiouxFallsPodcast.com.
This is the Scenes Podcast, the Songwriter Showcase. I am Tasha with Chevy Girl Advertising and Booking, and I got Janice here today. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into the music industry.
Well, I have been writing songs since I was 14. In my 40s now, so it's been a long time. I grew up in rural South Dakota and came from a really musical family. My mom used to play guitar and sing all the time, and I grew up singing with my siblings and Maryland band. And I remember being in high school and being obsessed with CMT, and at the very end of the videos, seeing the songwriters at the bottom. And I wanted to be on one of those CD liner notes someday. The only one I've been on is my own. So I, like I said, grew up in South Dakota. I went to SDSU, got my music education degree, taught in Arlington for 4 years, and then while I was there, I won a contest at the state fair, and part of the prize package was to go record some music. And so once I did that, this guy I played my songs for, he was like, "Oh, I think we should release your songs." And I was like, well, I'd be up for that. So I was thinking maybe we actually could like go to Nashville and do the thing. And so I came home one day and I said to my husband, I was like, we should just move to Nashville. We should just do it. And so he's like, well, let's take a trip. So we went and checked it out and moved like 6 months later. And we were there for about 7 years. I was just writing and playing in clubs and meeting lots of people. And while there, I released three albums of songs that I had written while I was there. And then we felt the call to move back because we wanted to raise a family here, back by our family. And so we have a little son who is 10. And we moved back here in Sioux Falls in 2013. And I still taught when I was down in Nashville, and then I got a job up here at T Area High School teaching choir. So I teach choir by day and write songs when I can and play when I can. So.
That's awesome. So you probably have my kids.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
My kids go to T.
Awesome. They must not be in choir. I don't know if I know. No. Maybe someday.
Yeah. Maybe when my youngest is there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome that you lived in Nashville and experienced that for especially 7 years. That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about your first song that you'll sing with us.
Oh, the first song I'll sing. Well, this one's pretty special to me. Sorry to start with a slow one, but we never thought that we were actually gonna get to have children. We were one of those couples that kind of struggled with infertility, and 10 years later, down the road after we were married, Mr. Dawson came along, and I have a song that I wrote for him. And I'm a school teacher, like I said, and so I get my summers off, and that's when I get some really nice quality time with him. And it's always kind of bittersweet when the school year starts, and then I have to like say goodbye to that kind of 24/7 mom.
Yeah.
So this is a song that I wrote about for him. It's about 5 years old, probably. Just kind of that picturesque like backyard scene with him, and kind of those memories we made when he was 5.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited to hear it.
Awesome. This one's called Summer Stay With Me. We could spend the whole day being kings and queens. It's magical and innocent, and life is but a dream. Sometimes I wish time would just freeze, but summer comes and goes till the seasons change again. I'll hold you in my arms, won't let you forget. Dancing in the July snow, falling down from the cottonwood trees. Summer, stay with me. And I know the winds of change are blowing, but don't let go. Just stay in this moment. Dancing in the July snow, falling down from the cottonwood trees. Summer, stay with me. Summer, stay with me.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks so much, you guys.
I do remember fireflies when I was little, and you know how you take them apart and like rub it on you? That's exactly
I have never done that before.
Okay, maybe that's because us city kids were a little weird, but I do remember. So when you were singing that, that's what I remember as a child doing.
Oh my goodness.
It didn't last very long.
They glow on you? Okay.
Yeah, just enough, and then it'd be done.
Okay. Very interesting.
Don't teach him.
I'm not going to teach him that.
But you know, like it's just one of those childhood memories that you think of when,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the next song.
Let's see. I guess the next one, I wrote about my sister. Ever since she was a little girl, she wanted to take over the family farm. She wanted to be the farmer, and she was told multiple times growing up that that wasn't something that a woman would do, including my grandfather saying that to her. And so she is just one of those people that, like, she's gonna work at it because that's what she wants. And she ended up taking over the family farm. She's a 5th generation farmer, taking over, and my dad retired a couple years ago. He's 4th generation, obviously. So it's been in the family a while. And some of this story is true. Names have been like changed to protect the not so innocent. But what I love about this song is that, what I love about songwriting in general is sharing stories about my family because they're so important to me. But then I also get to have really cool conversations with my parents. Like, my dad had been a farmer his whole life, and so I was like, I really have this idea for this song, and it was actually a prompt on this Facebook songwriting challenge, and it was a one-word prompt. It was haul. And so I was like, I have this idea I want to write about Andrea. It's called She Can Haul, and but I need like truck details, and so I know that I am not the person to ask for truck details. So I was asking my dad. I was like, tell me all about the semi-trailers that you haul grain. And so he was talking about Peterbilts and Mack trucks, and so I got to ask him like what were some distinguishing features so I could put them in a song, and so that's kind of why we ended up with a Mack truck in the song, because they have a little bulldog on their hood. So every time I see a Mack truck, I like get excited because it's in the song. But
That's awesome. Yeah. And what's the name of this one?
this one is She Can Haul.
Okay.
This is for my sister Andrea. Sitting in an old John Deere's earliest memory, helping Dad load hay and grain to feed the cows, driving a black Mack truck by the time she turned 16, taking corn and beans and sunflower seeds all the way to town. She loves it when she hears that gritty sound, gets a thrill when she lays that hammer down. She especially on the farm. One day his old Ford broke down. He was on to see baby bitches. She broke down. She pulled up with that Jake brake on. He almost had a change of heart. He swore that bulldog on her hood had a smirk. When she rolled on by and left him in the dirt. She ran that diesel engine. She never ground the gears. She drove that big rig down the road like she's done every years. She may be just a girl, but she's no Barbie doll. Chicken hall, chicken hall. She'd rather drive a Peterbilt than a minivan. You tell her that she can't, well, she's gonna prove she can. She'll turn that diesel engine and she'll never grind the gears. She'll drive that big rig down the road like she's done every years. That tractor trailer might make her look small, but she's no Barbie doll. Chicken hall, chicken hall, yo, chicken hall. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your songwriting process, because each singer has a different process and how they get into the groove of it. So tell me a little bit about your process.
Oh man, my process I feel like is sometimes all over the place. I have so many voice notes on my phone, like I'll just be driving down the road and you get like one tiny little like motif, I guess, or like one line, and I'm like, okay, that could be a song. Like lately, this week, I got a bass guitar lately, and so I was like feeling this groove, and then there was some chords that went on top of it, and now I have like this really cool groove. I have no idea what that song is gonna be. Like for example, Summer Stay With Me, I had the line, dancing in the July snow, falling down from the cottonwood trees, summer stay with me for months, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna write this. And then of course, like with a busy schedule, it's really hard to like sit down and schedule out your time. But a lot of times it comes to me with the melody first.
Yep.
I feel like I'm a pretty strong melody writer. I also like to write with lyricists. So I've written several songs with lyricists, and so there's even like another song that I've written that I never was in the same room with them.
Okay.
And so that's kind of fun too. It's a fun exercise also, just trying to find a melody to marry to these lyrics that already exist.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I learn something new every time.
Yeah.
So tell me about your next song.
Well, actually, I didn't really come in with a plan, so I'm gonna see what comes up. So this next one would be one that I wrote with two lyricists.
Okay.
We never sat in the same room. They sent me this lyric, and I was like, I have to be a part of this song.
Yeah.
And then we kind of wrote back, because once you have a melody, sometimes some of the lyric pieces are missing, and so we kind of write back and forth via email.
Okay.
And this one is called No One Has to Go to Be Gone, and this has been a really good song for me. The 30th anniversary for the Bluebird Cafe. You know where the Bluebird Cafe is? In Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the songwriting mecca. That's where everybody wants to play. But they had a kind of impromptu 30th anniversary songwriting contest, and this one won that one. So
That's
I thought it was pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a lot of talent.
All right.
I've been there a couple times.
It's all cover bands.
Yeah. I mean, if you love music, that is the place to go.
I would say downtown because you're gonna get a lot of mix of country, rock, rap.
Talking to myself because you see,
That's where songwriters get.
you're 1,000 miles away, even though you're lying next to me.
All the windows are open.
Another lonely night, just like the night before. But in my mind, I've already walked out that door. that keep winding up with nothing. I remember when you couldn't get enough of me, but I could build a whole new world on the way things used to be. No one has to go to be gone, nobody has to move on. Goodbye isn't good if it takes too long. Pretending that it's right when it's wrong, till you find the strength to be strong. No one has to go to be gone. I know you think everything is fine, but if you would look at me, you'd realize no one has to go to be gone, nobody has to move on. Goodbye isn't good if it takes too long. Pretending that it's right when it's wrong, till you find the strength to be strong. No one has to go. No one has to go to be gone.
You play it.
I'm
Expect.
Thank you.
So you wrote that song with two other people who
Yes.
were to do lyrics, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you created the melody for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does, so and you said you do this through email, correct?
Mhm.
So I'm guessing there's a lot of drives that are being,
And this was before Google Drive, so you know. So it was literally like send an email, wait for a response, maybe call on the phone. But one of the writers on that, Von Daniel, I have actually met David Graham and like been in his presence. I don't remember if I got to meet Von Daniel or not. We might have actually tried to write another one in person, but I mean, that was years and years and years ago, and they're still writing, which is really cool. And I hear from them because they're very, very good at like submitting their songs to like different contests and things like that. So I hear from them every once in a while, or even like, I think we signed maybe like a 3-year publishing contract on that, and then it reverts back to us if nothing happens with whoever we signed it with. So I think that's happened with that one a couple times.
okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that helps you, or what do you do when you're stuck?
Oh man.
Better to have.
Goodness, when I'm stuck, Grant might like this one. I help out with a songwriter group here in town, and we try to do lots of like writing things to kind of get us going. And I like to do journaling, or in the morning, if I like on a Saturday morning, take my coffee outside and just like, it's called free writing, and you just literally write and you don't overthink what you're writing. You just write whatever comes to your mind, and it can be the weirdest stuff. But then once you're done, once you go through all of it, I like to go back and look for little nuggets and like if there's any gold to mine basically out of it. And then I'll just write those down. I might not write those right away, but at least you're still sharpening the pencil in your mind and kind of keeping it right there. So
That's awesome. So what other song are you going to present to us tonight?
Well, I think I will do one for my mom. Okay, my mom, so I wrote a lot of songs about my dad at the beginning, and I think it's because he was one of those really quiet farmer types, you know? And when he got mad, that's when you heard him. And so when he had something to say, you just always listened. And then you know how moms are sweet, and they're like, they kind of nag at you, and then you don't listen. Then she says, "Wait till your dad comes home." So I feel like I got all this like song material from my dad, and then about 3 years ago, my mom goes, "You know, you sure write a lot of songs about your dad." And I was like, "Okay, I need to write one for my mom." So this was another one, I think 2018 maybe, which gosh, it seems like I just wrote it yesterday. But this was another prompt that was on that songwriting challenge, and the word was sheets. And you can imagine how many songs we're talking about bed sheets in a different way. So I was like, we're gonna write a wholesome, talk about sheets on the line song for my mom. So that's this one. Here's Bed Sheets on the Line.
Okay.
Oh, I should tell you something about the story though. Can I tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can do this lick while telling it. So my mom, when we were younger, we lived in this trailer house on the main farm, and she wanted a clothesline really bad, and she asked my dad to make her a clothesline, and he's kind of procrastinator, and I think that's where I get it from. But she finally gave up, and she went to town and she bought these railroad ties and this number 9 wire. So you know how in the story of Chicken Hall, I went to go have a conversation with my dad. Well, this was with my mom. And so she's like, got these railroad ties and this number 9 wire, and I was like, what is number 9 wire? So then she goes into all these gauges of wire, which I was like, whoa, didn't have any idea. So she was really excited, proud of her clothesline. She got it up, she hand dug all the posts for herself, you know, all those big old railroad ties. And then we were in that trailer house for like 1 year, and then moved over to another farmhouse on the farm place, like a mile and a half later. And I said, I said, did you do the clothesline over there? She's like, nope. I put up some wire on the trees and it was the clothesline. It was like way too much work the first time, so she gave up. So anyway, so that's kind of what, you'll hear some of those references in the song, so I thought that might be important.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, little reference is good. 18 years, that's how long it's been since I lived there. Oh, how those years have passed in memories. That's all I have left to remind me how blessed I was. Wish I could go back to that house small. Dead and gravel road, the farmhouse at the bend in the creek. Number 9 wire stretched so tight between those two elm trees. Watching my mama through the rays of sunshine, hanging bed sheets on the line. 8 long miles, that's how far it was to the neighbor's door. So we got good at playing on our own, and make up silly games, staying out till dark. Mom would call our names. Life was simple in that house on the hill. We were happy with just about and all. Late Red Rover, any eye over hours of hide and seek. Number 9 wire stretched so tight between those two elm trees. Made a tent with a queen size and some twine, hanging bed sheets on the line.
Probably about $300.
There's nothing like the smell of cotton and sunshine. Breathe it in, close my eyes. On that gravel road, the farmhouse at the bend in the creek. Number 9 wire stretched so tight between those two elm trees. Watching my mama through the rays of sunshine, hanging bed sheets on the line.
Giants 3-0. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Thank you.
Something went over.
So, Does your son know how to play Red Rover?
I don't know if he knows that one or not.
I remember playing it in middle school and elementary, and I was just thinking, I'm like, I don't even think my kids know what Red Rover is.
We were actually just talking, the neighbors had a bonfire like 2 weekends ago. We were actually talking about Red Rover and how you used to, like, you know, when you get your hands really stuck and then you pretty much clothesline somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder if that's the reason we don't play it anymore. But those were the days, yeah.
Yes. Sorry, it was a random thought when you said that. I'm like, oh, it is, but I don't even know if they do that anymore.
Yeah, I was surprised my neighbor actually knew what NEI Over was. You know, that one is a crazy like game where you get like up by a building where you can go around the whole I guess of the perimeter of it, and you have people on either side, and you say NEI Over, and you throw the ball over, and if they catch it, they can come around and tag you with it like dodgeball.
Oh.
But if it hits the ground, then you say pigtails, and then it starts over again. I mean, you're really bored on the farm sometimes, so. But it was a fun game. I remembered it, so yeah.
That is awesome. So you said that one was written for your mom,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And the whole part of it was that you had seen the sheets was the word for
Yes.
challenge, correct?
Yes.
So that's how that whole song came about. So is there any other songs about your mom, or is that just the one?
Oh man, that's a good question. Yeah, my cheat sheet. I don't know if I have any other ones about mom. I need to write some more. I kind of tried to get, I know my brother, I have another brother and another sister, and I think my brother was like, you don't have one about me yet. And so I was like, I got a list of people waiting, I guess. So I know. Dad just kind of showed, I did write one just for my dad. That one is called Corn in the Silo. But there's other songs that I wrote about myself, but it's like advice from Dad in them.
Okay.
So he's mentioned a lot more.
That makes sense. I mean, sometimes you learn different kind of knowledge from your father than you do from your
Yes,
mother
yeah.
because they're just more stern, more strict. I know that's the same thing. I did a no-no with my truck, and the first thing I remember was my dad taught me not. You have to do this first so that this does not happen, and I didn't do step one.
Yeah.
So.
And you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I kicked myself in the butt for
Yeah.
not listening. So,
Yeah.
yes, they do. It's just one of those things that sticks. So, tell me about another song that you have.
Okay, let's see. I'll do this song called Everywhere, because this one, whenever I'm performing live, I always say the song started with a cat. But nobody wants to listen to a song about a cat that's passed on. So this song's called Everywhere because the idea came from my cat, Gizmo. He was one that was a cat that my husband and I was like kind of like our first pet, basically. He lived a long time. He lived 8 years, which was like, that was like a record for us. I don't know why. We lived on a highway in Arlington, and it was just a bad spot for cats. But yeah, that's another sad story. But anyway, Gizmo, he was like Tim's cat. And the weirdest thing happened to him, not that everybody needs to know this, but he was actually bit by a tick that had been attached to a bobcat, which carried, so this disease is only in bobcats. This is down in Tennessee. And so somehow that tick had infected him with whatever bloodborne thing this was. And you can't, once they get it, you can't save them. And it was awful. And he died very suddenly. And Tim was just kind of distraught, you know, and we didn't know, like, and we don't forget another cat, and you know how it is when the family pet dies, and you're like, what, are we ready? I don't know.
Yeah.
But when we think we're ready, and then you like find little gizmo hairs everywhere, and you just like can't get away from the memory.
Yeah.
So that's where the song came from, but really I can't write a song about Gizmo, so it's about a person, like a relationship, and seeing those places that you experience those memories together. And how that reminds you of that person. And if you just get away from it, you might be able to forget them, maybe. So,
Sometimes.
maybe. I don't know. Love's a funny thing.
It is.
So, yeah, so this one's Everywhere. Could close my eyes, but I still see how you were here, your favorite chair at a magazine. And it stares at me, still holds a trace of my broken heart. So I don't get far. Every turn reveals a scar, like the drive-in movie screen where you said you loved me. We were just 16, too young to know anything. You're everywhere. Lost as a whispered prayer, and baby I'll find you there. Between my thoughts and memories, how can you not be right here with me? And somehow you're everywhere. If I could get past this city limit sign, I know I could get over you with time. When you're not everywhere, close as a whispered prayer, and baby I'll find you there. Yeah, between my thoughts and memories, how can you not be right here with me? And somehow you're
You're just singing.
Yeah, she's
I didn't do anything stupid.
I always love it when I mess up, and then I'm like, oh, I want to go back and tell you what that lyric was. You just gotta giggle it off sometimes. I guess.
Yeah, it's not like we would know you missed them.
Right, yeah, I know. It took a long time to learn that. I used to say, like, when I play rounds down in Tennessee, it drove my husband crazy. He'd be like, stop saying sorry. So it took a long time to, like, learn, just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's my artist last week. She like, I don't know, just keep going. She's like, can I just restart?
It's tough sometimes, especially when it's really embarrassing sometimes when you say, like, I wrote this and I don't remember it. That happens to me all the time, yeah.
Well, you're not even using your phone, so
Yeah.
huge kudos. 'Cause I know lots of them that are still like, here's their phone, and they're like, hey, I'm still singing.
Yeah.
So, no, huge kudos. You're singing all of these without your phone. So,
Now, if it was covers, it'd be a different story. I do have my little cheat sheet set list. Yeah.
so you do covers. What covers do you do?
Well, actually, oh my goodness, who was this young lady that was singing here?
Shelby.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yes.
I walked into her singing Strawberry Wine. That's one of my favorites. Actually got to open up for Dina Carter when she was here at the Washington Pavilion. And yeah, so that was like a lifelong like bucket list. That was really cool. I've never got to really open for anybody like that was like big like that. Well, big in my time,
Yeah.
in my day. So I do like any of the country, great, especially 90s country. I like Sarah Evans. I do a little bit of Carrie Underwood, some Miranda Lambert. I love Brandy Carlisle. I've been trying to do some of her stuff
I don't
live.
actually think I know her.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you need to listen to her. You're so good. The song that really speaks to me that she has is called The Joke, which is really, really beautiful. So
Okay.
if you check out any songs of hers, listen to The Joke.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
make note of that one.
Yeah.
So who is your favorite artist all time?
Oh man, I mean, I used to think that if Trisha Yearwood asked me to be her backup singer, like, and not even get paid, I'd still do it. Like,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was probably, I like probably have the most albums of Trisha Yearwood, probably. Yeah. She just, her vocals, what I love about her is like, she's an artist. Like, she doesn't actually write her music, which now everybody wants a piece of the pie, so a lot of the artists that you see are all writers.
Yep.
But she was one of those that would search for a song that spoke to her, and it's so interesting to me that she didn't write the songs, but you felt like she did because she picked songs that really spoke to her, and I think she's one of the greatest true artists that I've had to experience. So,
That was
yeah.
awesome. thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that piece. So we have time for maybe one more song if you'd like.
Okay, I gotta think about what I want. What? Oh, I got one for you. Okay, cool. Okay, it's not country, which I wrote it, this is really weird that it's not country, but.
You should give kudos to the man in the audience.
Yes, thank you. Grant, otherwise known as Link West, and he's the one you should get on the show too. He's fantastic. He writes his own music and he also plays everywhere. He is like fantastic. So yes, thank you for coming out tonight. So this last one, it's not very long, so that's good. None of them really are. No. So this one was another songwriting prompt, just because I think that particular summer I was like, or winter, it was during the winter, and I just needed something to get me writing. This was a picture prompt, and I'd never written anything to a prompt before this whole thing. And it was this picture of a carousel, and it's not like this beautiful, like, let's go to the fair and have fun, smiley. It was like this, like, old carousel, and it was like an up-close picture of the horses' faces.
Oh.
And they were like frozen in terrified fear, and I was like, oh my gosh, that like fills me with, I don't know what, dread or something. Like, what if I was stuck on that carousel?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, it is kind of like life, you know, you get stuck on this thing and go round and round. And so this is what came out of it, which is not my normal type of song, but it was kind of fun. So here's Riding on the Carousel. Painted faces whirling by, and only see in front of them that the big blue beautiful sky spinning faster, round and round they go.
I can remember many times in my life where I felt like, you just never get off of the cycle where you're just like, you're trying and you feel like you are, and then you're like, nope, I'm right back where I was.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
That was awesome. So, we are coming to the end of the showcase. You have your Facebook page.
Yes. That too.
But, yes, so Janice.
Yes.
Last name.
Gilbert. So Janice Gilbert Music is on Facebook. I do have a website too, just janicegilbert.com. And all my songs are on any streaming platform, and I carry them around in my car in case you actually listen to CDs anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah, CDs and T-shirts. I come peddling wares. So,
Awesome.
yes.
And are you under Janice Gilbert on all those streaming
Yes,
platforms?
I think Janice Gilbert Music on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just janicegilbert.com. So, yeah.
Perfect. I hope to see more of you.
Yes.
I know you were at the Levitt too, right?
Yeah, I got to
This year?
headline this year, which was a trip. Oh my goodness. Like Nancy Halverson is like, I don't know, she's like my fairy godmother or something. But I got to do a full band show, which I rarely ever have done. I don't think, nope, I mean, not rarely. It's never happened before. A full band, other than in the studios, like with hired guns. So this is really cool because I got to like share the stage with a bunch of friends. I'm also a Good Night Theater collective here in town in Sioux Falls, and so I know a lot of musicians from working with them with the cabarets and their plays and musicals. So that was kind of cool to share the stage with all those guys. So it's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on being at the Levitt.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and we hope to see more of you.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on. This was great.
Thanks for coming and joining the scene.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great night, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Remember to follow us on all your social media channels and follow our continuing coverage at patreon.com/thesceneprojects. Sign up for our email list and make yourself part of The Scene.